Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Hopefully the sound and everything, I had to reroute everything because I took the laptop on that uneventful trip. Anyway, hey, Jack, hey, Tommy J. And I'll go into a little bit of burns and pain. It's it hurts, man. Anyway, so yeah, so I haven't even looked in the GoPros. There's probably a little bit in there. I'm going to pull some up, but I don't think I did much. A couple little things. I was just getting ready to do everything the second day. Hey, Logan, Jamie, how you doing? But the one on my leg, this one here, this white is cream. Twice a day, I get in the shower and scrub that and my leg, and then my wife puts on this. It is that silver. I think somebody had said in the chat before, the silver oxide, some kind of something or other. It said silver something. I took a picture of it. Where did it go? Here. It's this stuff. Silver sulfide something or other. Antibacterial cream. The I haven't decided. I took a picture of my thigh. I got really lucky. If I wouldn't have moved quickly, which I didn't think I could move that quickly, I would have went right down the front of me, and that would have been a complete nightmare. This way, it was only a little bit of a nightmare. But I'll probably show you guys I'll give you a good. Everybody, look away, and I'll give you that before I pull it up. The ones on my leg. What it is, this one here is good. All this stuff along, can't really see it too well, but let's see. Here is all starting. These light spots down here. The scab is starting to come off. This is nothing. Well, what happened was, because I had my like pants on, the one on my thigh was obviously in contact with the boiling water a lot longer than this one, and it severely blistered. And he's worried about. I went yesterday. He said he felt a little bit of heat. He put the back of his hand on some of the red area, even on my hand here. He said he felt a little bit. So he gave me 7 days more, or gave me 7 more days of antibacterial or antibiotics, and which I think is a good thing. I guess they're worried about it because I'm diabetic, and I guess they really worry about getting infected. Yeah, what happened was stupidity. It's like I had the pot in front of me, and I had a new stove, a 3-burner ring deal, more stable and everything than the other one that I had. But I couldn't find my round, the smaller containers, and I had the adapter that went on so you could run the butane, the longer ones that go in like the stoves and stuff, and not the round ones like you see, the dome top ones. Uh, and when I went, I was boiling eggs for her freaking for an egg sandwich. And when I went to shut off the burner, it didn't shut off all the way. It was still pissing and popping, and I went and I grabbed the can, and when I moved the can, it moved the burner and that pot. I could just see it in slow motion. And I grabbed the pot with my hand, but it was too late. And I got up, and I mean, I was up, and I want to say had my pants off down to the ground in a second and a half. I mean, not long at all. And then I immediately went into the bathroom and washed it, with shower water, and then thank God my wife has more brains than me. I called her, I didn't want her to freak out. And I said, I don't think it's that bad. And I showed her a picture, and she said, okay, I'm coming. And she left work. That was like 10:30. Went and got the kids. And I said, well, just come out. We'll go to the local little deal here, maybe. And then we'll spend the 2 nights like we had planned. And she got there. We went there. They didn't know what to do because they're not used to farangs out there in Sisaket in the middle of nowhere. And because they just gave me they gave me ointment, and they said go down and get saline solution to wash it and stuff, and blah blah blah. And they said, and I tried to give them a couple hundred baht because they wouldn't. They said we don't know what to charge you. We don't charge people here, and so they wouldn't take it. So we went back, and my wife said, "You know what? Let's pack up and go to the private hospital in Surin. It's only an hour and a half away." So I jumped behind the wheel, and I had a big deal of ice and set it on my thigh, and had a rag hanging over here with ice on top, and drove the truck and trailer home, and went there. And then that guy said, "Yeah, you did a smart move by coming in." And I said, "That's her. I'm an idiot." So. And that was it, man. It just um yeah, by Johnson. Grab my gun. Yeah, it just was. It's nasty. If you guys want to see it, uh, I'll show it to you. Anybody else that doesn't want to see this, then turn away, and I will tell you here. Okay, turn away now, and then I will tell you when you can turn back. Turn away. That's what my thigh, and like I said, that's the top of my pants hairs as far as it goes up. It goes up to right. Okay, so if you didn't see that, you can look back and now. But it uh, it I don't know. I've been burned before, but not anything this severe. I've had road rash before, which is a nightmare. But they didn't get in there with the brush. So the hardest part I had to do is I washed it with my hand, and I scrubbed that, and it hurts like hell. But I know the more that I get that dead skin off there, and get everything exposed so the cream can get in there and work, I know it's going to be better for me. Yeah, no shit, right, Mark? That's a good thing to wake up for. Everybody got their coffee? Um, Joining for the first time, living in Surin, cool. From the U.S., it's cloudy here, cooled down. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know what it says it's going to be. Well, how you doing? There's three of us on this channel now. Bobby went back to the states that live here in Surin, also from America. I'm from San Fernando Valley, outside of Los Angeles, and I don't know where Bobby. Well, Bobby was right at Rancho Cucamonga in California, and I think Andrew was. He might have been in Texas. I don't know. Maybe they'll pop in. But welcome. Let's see what it says on my deal. What it says it's going to be today. Yeah, it does say. Yeah, they're cooling down 30, 38, 39, 40, and 40. So for today and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 40, and Sunday, 39, Monday, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. So the whole time that we're leaving on Friday morning. The only other bummer is, welcome, by the way. Sorry about that. Hey, Tip, how you doing? Um, Yeah, that's why I asked him this time too, because I was washing it with my uh, body wash type stuff. So this last time when I went there yesterday, I had him give me 4 of the um, uh, you know, antibacterial soap, and he gave me 4 little bottles about this big. So I'll use that. And I don't see anything. I mean, if I see it, I'd jump on it. I'd pour alcohol on it if I had to, and that would definitely get me up dancing. But hey, James, how you doing? But yeah, way more careful. It just, man, like I said, just stupidity. It's like when I got here, originally I thought I was invincible, and then when I got sick and spent 2 months in ICU and stuff back in, what was that, 2020, with that tube shoved down my throat. um, I forgot how I realized how fragile the human being is, um, and again, it's stupidity. I didn't need to do that. First off, I could have just picked that pot off and went and set it someplace else, and then went and screwed with what was happening with the burners. That would have been the smart thing to do. But my brain isn't. I just need to. I would have got burned just as severely at 30 years old, but I didn't think. I don't know. I need to think more because my body doesn't recoup as fast as it used to. But is it from, what is it? Yeah, I don't know what I got this stuff. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? I got this stuff from the hospital yesterday, and also in case everybody's watching, what do we got? 14 people in here. If you're from Thailand, okay. Now my wife knows, and your significant other might know, and all that. When I first, if you remember, I fell and I hit my ankle, and they were worried about that getting infected. And I went there. They took X-rays, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and antibiotics to take, and all that kind of stuff. My wife took my original card that I got here, my bank card from Bangkok Bank, and paid zip for that time. When I went in the uh, this last time for here, I went twice now. The first time I went in when we got back, um, see the doctor, 2 tubes of the cream, antibiotics, all that zip. And when we went in this time, they said you still have 4,000 baht left on your the insurance that they give you for opening up a bank account. And this time, they charged me 395 baht because for those they weren't going to pay for the antibacterial soap. So I went 3 times to the doctor, saw the doctor 3 times, a set of X-rays, 5 tubes of that silver or whatever crap put on there, a full regiment of, well, for 4 days of one antibiotic and 7 days of another, and some other pill that he said was a painkiller, but it didn't work. I have tramadol, and I tripled up on the tramadol, and it at least let me sleep the first night, and then I haven't taken any after. I don't abuse anything anymore. Anything in moderation's my deal. But just so you know, so if you opened up a bank account and when you go in, this is a private hospital too, the one in Surin that I say is just freaking awesome. And in case, what was the name of the new person that chimed in here? Mr. RWF 2004. I if you're on the borders, a lot of people come in here and are on the fence about, does Thailand have good hospitalization, and they're freaking top notch. I was in for 3 months, and my doctor, my heart doctor, my lung doctor, and the doctors there, they both work at both places. So if you go into even the government side, the chances of you getting top notch doctors is still way high. But anyway, so that's a little tip. I mean, I don't know how much it saved me. Maybe 3, 4, 5,000 baht. I don't know. But I mean, it would have been money that I would have spent. And my wife is, if she's like any other significant other, they know this crap, and you know, she, any dime that she can save, she's going to save. So I don't know to tell you. Hey, gorgeous, how you doing? I don't know to tell you the truth. I can find out and ask her if it, you know, if it reboots up or whatever. They give you 10,000, 8,000, or whatever it is. But it has to be like accident related. It has to be within a certain time. In other words, you can't go, oh, 3 weeks ago I had, you know, my ear got cut off. You gotta, there's time schedules. But I mean, she submitted it and they haven't rejected anything. I thought it was kind of cool, but I'll try to find out if it rolls over. If not, I'll close that bank account and open a new one. I wonder if they'll give it that way. So I would imagine that probably does roll over. Maybe, maybe not. You were going to say something about what you can't. Oh, I can't go in the frickin' ocean and I can't go in the pool. He doesn't want me, you know, any kind of. I figured ocean water, salt water would be good, but excuse me. I guess there could be bacteria and shit like that in the pool, and you know, even though it's full of chlorine and shit. So I guess there's no reason to take any chance. As long as I'm by the water, I'll have plenty of stuff to do. You know, I'll relax. Soak around. I don't want to go out and get soaked either. So I told the kids, I'll take you in the truck, but I'm locking the doors and I'm letting nothing. I mean, they'll throw, you know, toilet water at you. You know, they don't care, whatever they can get their hands on. So I got to be careful on that too. But it should be fun. We're going to leave Friday morning about 6, and I'm hoping to be out and in the hotel by 3 or 4 o'clock, which I don't think is. And we're taking 2 cars because we got the aunt and the uncle. Although I don't know if the uncle's going to come. He says he needs to stay and maybe make money or something. So his son might come, the one that actually is the caretaker at the property, and his mom, obviously. And then we got one villa, the same villas that we've gotten at Serenity, and excuse me, and we got a bungalow. So it ought to be cool. So I'll be hanging with my wife in the bungalow. She'll be over there. I mean, I'll get plenty of, you know, my jonesing out of the way of watching the ocean. It's not the best place in the world to swim anyway. You can get out there and, you know, canoe around. They have free that kind of stuff. But so to me, I'll show you. I spilled a whole pot of boiling water. I was boiling eggs in across my hand and down this one thigh. And I'll show it again. Did anybody get sick, or they didn't care about the picture? Here's the picture of what I just took this right before we started. Okay, so anybody that doesn't want to see this, look away now. And I'll tell you when you can look back. And those ones that white part of it is the cream. So I was lucky it didn't go right down the front of me. Okay, people that are queasy can can look again. And it was hurt like a son of a bitch. Well, I'll tell you, you know, I can tell when I think I've got a pretty good threshold for pain, at least in the past and all this. But when I get sick to my stomach, when I think I'm gonna throw up, and I'm in a pain situation, it's usually pretty freaking intense. And when it first happened, I was fighting back from puking. So I know that the pain was substantial. Of course, once the water hit it, it cooled down a little bit, and then when I put the ice on it, you know, it was still painful, but it took that, you know, the burn when you burn yourself. Yeah, it looks nasty to me too. Uh, yeah, it did. It wasn't any fun. That's for sure. Yeah, it will heal. Like I said, this thing here, it the pain is pretty much gone. This stuff where you see the lighter skin underneath there, that's this scab coming off. And he said he still felt some heat in there, so that's why. And on my leg, so he said, I just want you to keep taking it. And if you see any change, just when you're in Kochang, just go straight to the hospital. And my wife's like, she's going to ask me every freaking 5 minutes if you need to go to the doctor. I'm saying, you take a look at it. It looks the same. So, yeah, it will. It's just, yeah, it could be, I think, James, if you just like shrugged it off. I never could understand Joe's thing. They kept on wanting him to keep it covered and, wouldn't let anything. I never got it. And Joe showed me the picture of the thing before he even went and told everybody and everything about it. We were talking back and forth about the house builds and all that stuff. And I said, man, that looks nasty. You sure that, you're not, because I always was, if you covered something, it was for 2 or 3 days, then you opened it up, whether it was a knife wound, a cutting, a burning, a road rash or whatever, and let it dry up, And this one, he still wants me to wash it. But, it's got plenty of time to dry. Um, and that's when it's a little on the painful side too, because it starts to crack, not so much on this anymore. This one's pretty good. But that one, it's painful right now, just sitting here. If I'm laying in the bed and I got my feet up, I hardly feel it, and I can sleep at night now. So it makes it good. Yeah, I think so too, Logan. I was always that way, when I was growing up, and I told Joe that, and he goes, "Well, I got to do what the doctor." I said, "No, I'm not a doctor. You got to do what the doctor said." Although I think I probably told him maybe a second opinion. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right, with the humidity and all the crap they've got here, And I don't know if they had him. I didn't ask him if they had him washing it with anything, or I'm sure they had him on heavy antibiotics, but I feel content with the way this doctor's handling it. Like I said, I like the idea that I get in there and I wash it, because I know burns can be nasty. And like I said, I guess if you have diabetes, they really worry about infection. I didn't realize it. Hey Jay, how you doing? Glad you can make it. Good morning. You missed the freak show. I showed my thigh. Um, but hey, I watched her. If you guys aren't subscribed to, you guys need to subscribe to Logan and Jamie's channel. He just did another upgrade on it. What was it? That back delete on the fender, moving the license plate up and getting rid of the blinkers and putting it all in one thing. Um, by all means, go check it out. Yeah, we must be related somehow down the line, right, James? uh, but I'm kind of. I mean, he showed his. We had a picture on our little chat deal, and it looks nasty, man. It. I just need to be smarter, and I think as we hit our elderly, our golden age, or whatever the hell you want to call it, I think you need to be a little bit. You should be careful anyway, but I think now I just need to look at things and go, don't be stupid, because I could have very easily moved that deal. No brainer. I'm just not paying attention in la la land somewhere. And you can really get hurt. And I never liked those cut off deals anyway. The saws that have got him twice now, they have a tendency to kick back anyway. That's why I asked him sawzalls, and he said, no, he doesn't like sawzalls. Why? They're not as dangerous or what? But we'll see. Let's see. Tommy's asking, will your wife let you go alone? Yeah, she's not happy about it, because I'm already talking about, going some other place. I just said, well, what happens if this happens? I said, I would have just drugged my ass to the doctor. I would have had to do what I had to do. I mean, it was great of you to come. Thank God you did. It was nice to have somebody there. After about the first 2 hours, by the time she got there, maybe 3 hours later, I had calmed down a little bit and my stomach wasn't as upset. The pain, I had ice on it. Thank God I brought ice from our ice machine. It really helped that deal. But they didn't want to, they gave me some kind of thing that, because I was asking, give me some painkillers, something that will kill the pain. I said, what is this that you're giving me? What is this, like Tylenol with codeine or some shit, And I had my wife right when we were in the pharmacy before we left the hospital. Go up and ask him. Tell him I got tramadol at home. I'm going to eat the tramadol. So you tell me whether I can eat both of them, which I've done enough drugs in my life that I can eat pretty much anything. So I'm not worried about taking them both. But which one's stronger? And the guy said, by all means, the tramadol is way stronger. And tramadol is nothing. If you triple up on it, it's not bad. But it's only good for 1 or 2 days. And if you triple up on it like that, you become immune to it. It's an opiate, but the minor side of opiates. Most of the people that were cramming down and they took it because it's easy to become addicted to them. I don't know. I've been lucky in my life. The worst thing that I was addicted to was cigarettes. Everything else I could quit. The cocaine and every drug that I did 40 years ago in the late 80s or whatever, in the early 90s, and in the 70s, and in the 60s. So anyway, but yeah, so yeah, and I need to be better with it too, Tip. I don't treat my diabetes as I should, and I know Douglas has gotten on me a couple of times about checking my sugar level and stuff, which I don't do, and I need to start doing it because I eat pretty much still whatever I want, and it's just not right. Now, yesterday I ordered some raw tuna from and had it delivered from Robinson Mall. It was pretty good too. 500 baht though, and it was almost like a poke bowl. And then I added, I've got some hot sesame oil and stuff like that here. And 499 baht for about 300 grams, which isn't bad because I just looked on that paleo site and this stuff is fresh. And that stuff that I'll be getting from there would be frozen. And it was about the same. It was 300 grams was 449 or something like that. And that was with the delivery 9 baht delivery charge too. So I might do that 2 or 3 times. I'm trying to get salads and eat a little bit better, which I should. Yeah, if she had her druthers, I wouldn't leave the house. I would never ride a motorcycle or 2 wheels again. She wants me to live forever. Probably ain't gonna happen. I was I don't know, man. We're getting close. I look at it now. I don't think about death too much. There, Logan, we're in the death part of the show. But there isn't. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I'm not in the greatest of shape. Some people might be, but if you're close 67, 70 years old, maybe 15 years, 85, and I think you're probably got a good chance you're going to be dead. 15 years is going to go by like at a blink of a freaking eye. And but my wife would like me to hang. I'll hang as long as I've got my faculties and as long as I'm not a gigantic burden. My feet are numb, which is driving me crazy. I know that's probably not going to get any better, probably worse. God forbid they have to cut off my foot or something, but I don't know. I'm not in that real bad area of diabetes, but I don't think it matters. But even if that happens and I've got my faculties and I can get in and out of a wheelchair and they can wheel me around, or I get an electric wheelchair, maybe a fast one, maybe gas powered, that's okay. But if I'm like dribbling out of my mouth and in a diaper and, spitting up and everything else up, and I don't want to do that. Although my wife said she's game. She's ready to change my diapers till I'm 100. She wants me to live. Hey, Baldy, how you doing? Glad you could stop by. I appreciate it. White vinegar, Dave, works wonders on burns, including some. Really, yeah. I figured I like that. I've always my regiment of anything with any kind of burns or cuts or any kind of abrasions has always been peroxide. I pour peroxide on it, and then whatever I'm covering it with for the first couple of days, it's always been Neosporin, and then they came out with that, the pain relief Neosporin, and then put that on for 2 days, and then take whatever bandage and stuff off, and then keep the Neosporin on. And I've never had a problem with infection. They've always healed well. But I figured I'd give their stuff a chance. And then if I see anything, like I said, I'll pour alcohol on it if I think it's absolutely necessary. It'll probably come out of my skin, but I'll do whatever I got to do to make it. I don't want any infections. And I'll check my temperature and stuff like that, so I'll know. But he felt it. He said, I can feel it. And I go, you're better than me, man. I thought it was healing. He liked the way it was healing. He just wanted, I think he was making a decision on whether to continue the antibiotics or not, which I'm glad that he did. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's really weird though, Jay. It's anybody, doesn't matter whether it's my wife, my father-in-law is just touchy-feely as hell. And I have to tell my wife, tell him not to touch my feet. It's not him, you know. And when I got hurt, they want to lay hands on you type stuff. It's not weird, but it's the feeling. I tried to explain to my wife, and she tried to explain to my father-in-law. It's not just you; it's anybody. I don't want anybody touching it because it's like numb, and it's getting worse. But I should try I should try it. Yeah, and I really like raw salmon. And what I do is I put like a very little, like maybe a teaspoon in 300 grams of cubed salmon or tuna. And you see me make it. I did it a couple of times on a camping trip, I think, but that was already mixed with something. That and then sesame oil, spicy, hot sesame oil, a little bit of sriracha, cut up green onion, and sesame seeds, and the orange flying roe, whatever it is, the those orange eggs that they put on sushi. I love them, and you can buy them in a big giant. I think it's like 1,200 baht pack in macro, and put that in there, and I really enjoy that, and it's really good for me. It's got all the omega, whatever the hell they are. But and I'm thinking about it now. I might do it again today, even though it's 500 baht. Um, I got badly sunburned as a kid. My granny poured white vinegar all over no pay. Yeah, a couple of times I remember back. We used to go to Havasu when I was a kid. It was great when we were young when going there, and then they started getting college kids coming in and it started raping people and stuff, and we ended up getting in more fights than anything else going there. But we went there for like 10, 12 years straight, and I can remember I had Farmer John. What do they call those bib overalls? And I didn't have a shirt on, and I've been out all day, and they were just. I was so drunk that we were dancing, having a good time, and they're going, "You need to get them off there. It's blistered and it's cutting them, and they're dripping down your back." And all this, and boy, I woke up the next morning, and I just couldn't move. Then I learned about how to. They make sunscreen. That's a good product. But, no, what did I miss? Is Johnny here? I didn't see Johnny. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Glad you can make it. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I'll show it one more time. This is the last time for a couple of people. This is what my leg looks like. So look away, people that don't want to see anything that's sickening. It's not that bad. Here it is, and I'll let everybody know when they can look. So look away now. That's my thigh, and from boiling water. And like I said, I think it's worse than my hand because, like I said, because my pants. Okay, I took it down. You can look back. um, because my pants retained the water, so held the heat, so it burned longer. But it wasn't on for more than 2 seconds. I had my pants down and was standing there naked in the trailer thing. I was in the trailer, so thank God I was in the trailer. I'd have been standing out there with all the people. Now, I did a number on it. camping and not cooked properly. Yeah, I don't think it didn't cook long enough. But yeah, like I said, I'm over the part where I think that I'm invincible. I learned that by the 3 months that I spent in ICU and the hospital when I was sick with pneumonia. I did learn then how fragile it doesn't take much to die. That I learned, and at a pretty old age. I mean, what was I, 65 or whatever I was, 62, 3, something like that. I just need to just think, instead of just being lackadaisical, and, especially when I'm by myself, because that's what freaks out my wife too. You're in the middle of nowhere, and what happens if this, and you need to get to the hospital, and she's worried about if I have a heart attack or something. I said, if I'm lucky enough to have a massive heart attack and I'm dead before I hit the ground, I couldn't really ask for a much easier way to go than, I've watched people waste away from cancer and all that shit, and that's the worst thing in the world. It was awesome. Like I said, I'm going to open up the GoPros and maybe I'll put out a little short video of, excuse me. It was decent, and it was $100 a night. No charge for the truck or the trailer. Just $100, and it wasn't $100 that was for Farang, Thai. Didn't make a difference. The only time I see that 40 baht for a Thai person and 400 baht for a Farang is in government stuff, parks and stuff like that. Which again, like I said before, hey, whatever you got to do, I got no problem with that. Let me see. What is it here? 31 degrees. Going to be 38 today here in Serene. Let me bring up the chat here again. But yeah, definitely worth going. An hour and a half away. You're there like before you even know it. The kids could have went out and paddled the paddle boat, the canoes, and that's all free. They have a place there that sells ice, and we didn't really get in there, but I think they even had some food and stuff like that, Thai food if you wanted. It was nice and not bad for, like I said, for 100 baht. It's nothing. Somebody think that was bar girl rash. You think so? I don't know. I've never been with one, so I don't know. Let me drink my coffee. But really had a good time. Plan on going back there, and hopefully getting. I want to get out that way of Douglas and Ron, and that. And now that Jake is back in the States and back in Florida now, and he won't be back for a while. Daz, I know, is here. I've got a little gift that I bought for, actually not for Chuck and Paige, but it's for another part of their family, and I might drive out there for the day and drop that off, but it's probably not going to be till after Sokran, and I think he's taken off. So I'll have to find out, because I think somehow I know Daz is going to meet up with them somewhere. So I'll do it and give them this little gift. I think they'll get a kick out of it. Just kidding. Keeps on giving, yeah, for sure. I bet. No, they didn't. They didn't touch it, man. I was really surprised. Like I've seen some. I haven't really had awful road rash because I haven't been down that many times. But I've seen some people that I have seen people die on the highway, and then other people that have went, and man, it's just they must train you as a doctor or a nurse or whatever that, hey, me and my wife, the one that passed away, we used to watch all those emergency shows, the real life ones, and me and her would get all, I think he's going to need a chest tube, because they don't give you shit, boy. They just shove that knife into your ribs over here and put that tube in. And I guess their thinking is, hey, you know what, pain's pain, and we're saving your life, and we're not going to give you, a shot and then stick it in. We're just going to go. And they would scrub road rash because a lot of it was asphalt back in the day, and so you'd see this just hamburger, skin, and then little black pieces of asphalt and stuff buried, and they just took a brush, man, and they washed it with betadine, and then just, I mean, talk about getting your attention. Yeah, yeah. No, thank God for street drugs back in the day. But no, I was waiting for him, Jay, but he didn't. And yesterday would have been probably the time. But I think a lot of people wouldn't have taken soap, and because I didn't. I mean, it hurt like hell to every time I rubbed that thigh with my hand, and now I've got antibacterial soap. It'll definitely get your attention, and there wasn't much dead skin. I know that back in my mind, it was like dead skin's not good over, healing because it's holding in bacteria and all sorts of stuff. So, figured put up with a little pain and maybe you'll get lucky, and I did. They didn't mess with it. They didn't. They didn't cause me any pain. Hey, well, I'm thinking probably I'd like to do it at least twice a year. I think everybody had a great time. It was fun, and we'll do them until same thing as with this YouTube channel. When it's not fun anymore, I just won't do it. But it was a blast. It was good to see everybody, and we had a good time. I think I don't know. Maybe towards the end of the year. I don't know. We'll have to. I'll let you know. Definitely let you know. And maybe we'll pick I mean, not the same hotel or whatever, but I think the same area is good for a lot of people. I mean, I got to drive 6 hours there, but a lot of people that are coming in and aren't living here 100%, but if they come in and they stay, they're 4 or 5 hours away from there, or they're flying into BKK and they're a couple hour van ride over to Pate area. But I'll leave it up to everybody else. We'll have plenty 2-3 months talking about it and do it again. Hey Maui, how you doing? I seen you at the shooting range, which I kind of miss. I hear they have them here. I know when I first started in Kamala, riding over to go from one side of Phuket to the other, that road that went over there was a couple of shooting ranges, but I never stopped. Um, I don't know if they're around anymore, but I heard you could do it. But looked like you guys were having some fun. is that close? Is that close to where you're going to be, bro? Uh, I'm game for. I like the ocean. If I'm gonna put in my 2 cents, it's going to be on the water somewhere. I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. I know there's some places in Rayong. It go around the other side. Chaam, Hua Hin. I'm game for anything. I'd like to get over on that side with the trailer anyway. And if I do, and my wife wants to go, maybe I'll drive time and we'll go the other side over down that area. There's some nice beaches and stuff there, and some nice hotels. And Hua Hin, not real. I mean, it's okay. It would be fine with me. Chaam, I think, is a better place, my kind of style, not overly crowded. Hey, down low, how you doing? Down low. Did I say down again? Hope you're well. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's easy for, but we'll do it again. I think we had like 40 people there last time. That was pretty cool. And I still have some shirts I got to get out. Um, yeah, I bet it looked like you were having fun. I did see it. We're friends on. If you can hook up with people on YouTube, and I'm not big on social media stuff. I don't comment. I'll share stuff if I like what whoever's on my Facebook is sharing. I'll share it, but I don't normally put anything in except for this one on her Facebook page the day she passed or her birthday or something like that. I'll do it. But it is a good way for me. if you're here and your whole family, like my whole family in the States, all of them are on Facebook. I can sit down in the morning at 5 in the morning, look through Facebook, and I know if little Billy, broke his arm, if he's okay, and my whole family in a half hour, I'm caught up on 50 of them. So it makes it nice. And does it have its bad points? Sure, but it has its good points too. You've been back in Oz for 2 weeks. I didn't. I wouldn't. I got to go back. I want to see my grandkids, and I'll probably end up going back. I'm guessing August, maybe for 2, 3 weeks. I don't think my wife's going to be able to make it this time, but the following year, uh, I'm going to probably take her. Maybe I'll take the kids too. I don't know. Yeah, an oxygen mask. Yeah, who was I watching? Um, I think it was Chuck this morning, uh, where he's at over in Udon. He was off the top of his room there. It was a little hazy. He was talking about it. And I think he had a cough. I haven't experienced it too bad here. And I notice when I'm short of breath or anything that has to do with my breathing, boy, I'm right on top of it. Mm, yeah, I agree with that, Melly. But I stay inside. Um, I'd like to get the pool going, but now I can't go in the pool. So once I get this burns and stuff under control, and the one on my thigh, probably be when I get back from Koh Chang, I'll probably be able to. I don't want to take any chances. The doctor doesn't want me going in the ocean, and I'm going to Koh Chang and or the pool. So that's okay. I'll take my 2 showers a day and wash the burns with the antiseptic soap, and that'll be my cooling down. And we'll go out to dinner. They're going to want to go out to dinner and stuff. And we're going to bring a bunch of stuff. I guess my wife wants us to shop at Macro there, so we'll go, and I guess we'll take some stuff for that first night or whatever. The rooms do come with breakfast every morning, so that'll be kind of nice. We'll all be able to go to breakfast together, and I can get an American style breakfast, and then we'll go to Macro probably the next day and get a way more food than we'll probably need, and then there'll be 2 or 3 times we'll probably go out for good seafood stuff. I'm imagining it's going to cost me, I'm guessing 30,000 baht, for food, and maybe they want to go on a snorkeling thing. I don't know. That's what I'm figuring in my mind. And for the villa, gave me a really good deal on it. The guy over there that I've dealt with the 3 times that we've been there, great guy, and he's about 50,000 baht. So is it a lot of money? Yeah, in my Thai wife's eyes and the kids and the family, to me, it's what is that? I don't even know. $1,200, $1,500. I mean, I'm used to going to Maui, 2,500 each, to stay at the Westin and and have a good time, or on a cruise, 1,500 each, to go somewhere. So they're happier than hell. I mean, they can't wait. They're gnawing at the bit. Toby's going to go with us, so that'll be fun. And I'll get the drone up in the air. We'll get some more drone footage of Serenity. Hey John, how you doing? Glad you could make it. If you guys aren't subscribed, please do. But yeah, so the thigh is the nastiest. If you didn't see it, you didn't miss anything, I don't think. The burn on my hand, it's 3 times as bad as this. It's open in this area, and the skin's pretty much gone. So I don't know if that's third-degree burns or whatever it is, but it hurts like hell. Hurts right now sitting here, but it hurt. I was amazed. 2 things I didn't want to die of. One was drowning or suffocation, which I experienced with the losing with the having to put a tube down my throat for 2 months. And now, with this, you've always burnt, picked up a hot spoon or something. I've got that on my thumb here too. It's like smooth or whatever. Um, But I couldn't imagine, being burdened over like that's on my thigh, burnt over 20, 30, 40% of my body, man. I couldn't even imagine that. It could have been a lot worse, man. If I didn't move out of the way, it would have went uh, right down the center, and that would have been hard to deal with. Uh, I will be in this weekend for So Crown of Anybody. Cool. Yeah, I like it. I like I like it over there. We're gonna spend 7 days in Ho Chang, so that'll be interesting. The drive there is probably going to be interesting because we're leaving on, as far as I know, and I go by what my wife gets off work and stuff because she works for the government. It starts on the 12th. I did saw Johnny's Something Happening put out a video, and they're starting on the 12th on some of the soys there. And they said in Hua Hin that they're not going to, the cops aren't going to put up with any fights, water fights. And then he went around and, when are you starting your water fights and shit? And somebody was starting it on the 11th. And I'm only saying that because I don't know what the traffic's going to be like going from here over to Ko Chang. We'll have to see. Don't smoke is fun. I really like cigars. I haven't been jonesing too bad about smoking because it's been over 4 years now, and like I said, I'll never start again. But I have been thinking about it more lately. And I used to like cigars. I had a big giant humidor at the house, and this was the best of the reason too. Is this one most people don't smoke those in the house and go outside, and I can't stand the smell of that. My wife used to get right in my face, want me to blow the cigar smoke in her face. She loved it. She was a smoker too. She loved it. But most of the time, everybody or every woman, only one other woman, she was actually the God, what was it? Grant Tinker's daughter, or no, Grant Tinker was, in case you don't know, was married to Mary Tyler Moore. He was a big wig with whatever, and she was married to his son. And boy, she was fun. She loved smoking cigars, and only spent not much time, a couple of weeks or something. But she was something. That's the only two women that I ever was around that enjoyed the smell of cigar smoke. 3 or 4 years. What I used to do is I used to order them off of I forget the site now. I shouldn't. They still send me stuff, emails. uh, the biggest thing that killed me for smoking wise was, I guess it was Obama that stopped cigarettes in the mail, and I used to get cartons when everybody was paying $50, $60 for $15. Then I ended up started buying them for like $30 at the Indian reservations. But It was weird because they banned, you couldn't buy cigarettes, but you could buy cigars. I never quite understood that, but I had a couple of sites that I looked at. If you said, yeah, that's it, Thompson. And I used to buy massive amounts of cigars from them. I really enjoyed it. A glass of a good wine, and um, I liked it. I liked it. And cheese. I like the sharp cheddar cheese and a good cab or something, man. And big cigar, chewing on that, uh, watching the snow falling outside, and my house getting warmed by a wood burning stove. It was kind of cool, but I was always done with snow after 3 days. It's okay enough. Go away, and that's the way it was at the 3,000 foot that we were at. We get it 2 or 3 times a year, most of the time, and maybe 6 inches at the most, and that would be gone. I think the longest it ever stayed was like 2 weeks. Yeah, they still send me stuff, but I don't look at it anymore, so I forgot their name. But they always had good stuff. Um, Offered good uh, gifts, I guess, with it, cutters and stuff like that. And I thought it was, and I don't even know what happened to last. I had a big, I think it was a 250, it would hold 250 cigars, the humidor that I had. And then I had a basement. I had plans of putting in a wine cellar and all sorts of stuff there. And I ended up putting in a dark room, but it would have been good for cigars and wine. Um, and I'd still like, I don't drink much wine, although from my understanding is, the wine here is most of the stuff's crap. There's some good stuff or decent stuff coming, that they have Australian wines here, and I haven't checked them all. This is only what I've heard, but the stuff that I've tasted that is the cheaper end of the wine is real crap. But um, I'm glad I don't actually. Another thing that would have cost me money. Um, let's see if I'm caught up. Anybody ask anything? If you ask it again. If I missed it, and I don't know how long. I think most of the stuff, except in bigger areas like maybe John Tiem and all them, and I think 2 or 3 days, right, for the most part on Sokran. I know some people go 7 days or something. I know we're going to be there till the 20th, and I think we come back on the 21st, and that's when I'm supposed to go back to the doctor here. So it worked out pretty good, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to have any kind of nightmarish stuff or have to, go out and go to a doctor in Ko Chang. But if I have to, I have to. I'm not gonna be stupid and not do it. That's for sure. Yeah, it was. We went to Kaohai. Uh, my wife went and I think I did a video on it. The strawberry patches there, and we ended up buying strawberry wine, 2 bottles. They're still in the camper. I don't have a corkscrew, and I'm going. They're probably just twist tops. And damned if they didn't have synthetic. They weren't cork, but the fake corks in there. But I couldn't. I didn't want to, mash them up. So I haven't even tasted those yet. One was a strawberry wine, and the other one was something else. Already started them, but they that figures. Uh, and they're gonna go. They're gonna go a while too, because I don't know people that haven't experienced Sokran, and it was a big deal that they haven't been able to do for what, I don't know, 3 4 years, pretty much. So they've been gnawing at the bit for a while, but they're already talking about trying to. We get I hear all the stuff now because my wife tells me about the stupid Farangs that are getting in fights and all sorts of stuff. And I guess there was another one, some kind of I don't remember exactly, kind of fight with a limo uh, deal or something. Just got into the country. Um, I don't know what people are thinking, man, and why are they putting themselves in that position? Just coming, I don't know. It's but the thing that bothers me the most is that the Thai people are going to look at us differently, and us being normal Farangs that aren't going to go out there and start trouble with Thai people and stuff like that. It just puts a bad taste in their mouth, and I don't blame them. I saw Water Party in full flow on Soy 7. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I haven't watched any of this stuff on YouTube, but I know that, like I said, Johnny, there's something happening or whatever over there in Hua Hin. Um, he just did a video on when they're going to start their water fights, what time they're going to start them, on what soy they're going to start them, and they're starting most of them. One bar that he went into was going to start on the 11th at 3 in the afternoon, but the other ones were around that in the afternoon on the 12th. So we'll see. Socran is what, 1 to the 21st of April this year, to encourage that. And like I said, I just go off of my wife works for the government, So when the government says you have this block of days off for Sokran, that's the one what I figure's got to be the actual Sokran dates. Because, like you said, that's a wide open 20-day period. But we'll have to see. Watch out for squirt guns. Yeah, I why are you, why were you staying in the camper? Is it new? Yeah, well, I was staying in it because it's hotter than hubs hell. It was 40 degrees out. I've got 1,000 watts of solar on the roof, and I've got I have 24-volt system, two 400 amp hours of. I can run my air conditioner without any sunlight for over 24 hours, maybe longer. But so I was getting out of the heat is what I was doing. I should have went. If I would have been outside, it probably wouldn't have happened. I should have went outside. How are you, by the way? Hope you're well. Um, but yeah, it burnt my leg pretty good. It looks pretty nasty. But like I said, I can feel it right now when I stretch out my leg, mainly because if I sit in one position, the scabs, you know, form, and when I move them, they split a little bit, and that's a little bit painful, but not real horrible. It was really bad the first 2 days. I think I want to say first 2 days. It was what I would consider pain levels in the eights and nines. Definitely not. Definitely could have been avoided. Definitely just stupidity. Just pure. I asked my wife, "Are you going to leave me?" People saying, "Why are you staying with the stupid Farang?" I just need to smarten up a little bit because I'm just not as resilient. I shouldn't be doing stupid shit anyway. You know, just take a little bit more caution. Think through what I'm doing instead of being, watching Netflix over here and screwing with this and trying to do 8 things at the same time and just relax, and have a good time. I'm hoping to get off, um, uh, you know, um, I don't know. If I'd like to get out on the bike too, and that's not going to be a big deal either. Uh, let's see. Um, yeah, so hopefully I'd like to get out on the bike. I still got to finish the 750. I was looking at a Harley the other day, but I get on a kick and I really want one, and then I think about it and I say, well, you haven't even finished the 750. How you gonna know getting out there? I've got running boards for it. I'd like to get another set of exhausts for it. I definitely got to have the carburetor retuned, and that's why I haven't brought it back and had it rejetted because the uh, I don't know that if I change the pipes, the tuning's going to be all off anyway. So I figure if I'm whatever pipes I'm going to run, I need to put on there before I have them rejet the carburetors. Um, but we'll see. Hey, doing? How you doing? Glad you could make it. Yeah, yeah. That's the first time that I've seen a troll in here. They just have no brains, just piece of shit people. Um, but uh, but anyway, um, so hopefully I'll get out on that. I got to order. I guess the one guy that I took it to, I've got I'm on the fence with him on whether I think that he is capable of doing now putting the new Dunlop tires and stuff on it and getting it, that end of it going, and the stuff that he did was okay. But he didn't. I would have never sent the bike, but I would have never given the bike back to me with it still lean popping. I would have said, we need to rejet it. What do you want to do with the pipes? I would have hit me up for more crap to do. With that being said, I still think he's capable, but I'd sure like to find there's a couple of people that are in like Bangkok and an area that just do amazing things with these with the steeds and the the twin water cooled motors and stuff. I'd like to get it to them and have them do the final tuning and everything on it. Would be awesome. Whether I'm going to find what I need to do is join a couple of the sites, for that, for the shadow, and find out. There's probably somebody. If I had to guess, I'd say there's probably somebody in Buriram, probably definitely somebody in Udon. So within 4 or 5 hours, which is not a big deal. I just got to wait. I got to get Sokran done and out of the way, and then do it, because I think the 750 is gonna, the Jones that I have for a V twin. I think it will satisfy that at one sixth the cost. For 100,000 versus 500 or 600. I did see a nice one in there. It had a Screaming Eagle kit, 103, and 6-speed bagger. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was 599,000 with the green book and everything done and all that. So I was thinking about it, but I don't think I need to. I think that is his hobby, Baldy. Let's see, Dan, love riding. Just be careful here on the roads. Thailand is number one. Yeah, and I feel pretty safe on a bike. I always have. It's just the way I've been riding them forever, and a couple of things that happened to me when I was younger on bikes that I built, Panhead and Knucklehead, that made me think in my mind I'm not going to die on a two wheels. That doesn't mean I'm not going to fall off of it or hurt myself a little bit or whatever, but no serious. That's just my personal feelings on it. So it makes me feel better when I'm riding. But you have to be here. That's why people say that loud pipes don't do anything. Loud pipes have saved my life 30 times, 50 times, 100 times. It's just a lot quicker to pull it and hit that throttle with straight pipes, and people pull right over. So I want to put a set of straight pipes on the 750. The pipes that are on there aren't too bad. And then after I get it the way I want to and get the carburetor, then I might put a paint job on it and go out and run it. Let's see. What did I miss here? How you answer PPL2? How? I don't understand that. Had 3 cars, none my fault. Yeah, that's the worst part about a lot of it is it's not it's not your fault. But you have to ride defensively. I was out of Los Angeles, and if you didn't ride defensively in the San Fernando Valley and in the LA area in the 70s and 80s, you died. I mean, you had to, and then there wasn't one. It's 100 times worse now, traffic wise, than it was back in the day. But we pushed the limits a lot. I mean, in the 70s and 80s, had a lot of fun, but pushed the limits a lot. Let's see if I missed something down. Oh, okay. Is that what he was asking? Yeah, how it gets highlighted? I'm looking for 6 gear. Yeah, the only 6 gear bike I had is the one that's sitting at home in the garage. It's a 2008 Dyna, the cheapest big bike that Harley made, uh, and I think I paid 12,600 and right off the shoulder. The only thing I put on it was lowering shocks. Got a single seat on it. Love that bike. Gave it to my kid. He just hasn't picked it up from the house up there yet. But that was a 6-speed. The other bikes, I mean, even on my Panhead and stuff, didn't have a bunch of horsepower back in the day. I mean, I could have, but I liked the way that it rode. That it rode it like it was, and the 4-speed and S&S carburetors we ran. But Nothing, not real gigantic big bores or anything. Uh, I had a Sportster that was pretty fast, but 1200 Sportster. But um, I don't know. Yeah, but it was nice at 80 miles, 90 miles an hour. It was awesome to have. But and when I was riding around and we were in a pack or something, then yeah, it was nice to have because we were, 6 inches off the rear of person in front of us at 95 miles an hour, going through the middle of Oakland, San Francisco. Crazy shit. Uh, who did think some friends of Pachua? Joe recently got run over on a bicycle. Really? Hey, Paul, how you doing? Glad you could make it. I'll put that up there. If you guys aren't subscribed, please do. And while I do that, I'll show one more time the burn. So look away if you don't want to see the burn on my leg. If you want to see it, I'm going to put it up now, and then I'll let the other people know when I'm taking it down. So look away now. So that's what my thigh looks like right now. So it definitely pain involved. Okay, you can look back now. All right, that's the last time. Well, I think I've said that a couple of times. Um, but I don't know. So I'm going to finish the 750. I just got that MSX. I got all the stuff to do it, to put on it. So I'll take it to somebody when I get back. Put the pipe on. Put the knobbies on the front and the rear. What else did I buy for it? Foot pegs, mirrors, and I think that's about it. Not a bunch of stuff, and that's probably what I'm going to put on the back of the trailer. I do have still have the CT 125. I'll see how that goes. Yeah, it looks pretty good, right, Andy? Aren't you sad you don't have a thigh that looks like that? But like I was saying before, I don't know. It just seems like we got more and more idiots coming into Thailand, foreigners, Farangs, whatever you want to call them, that are just stupid. Hitting, police officers and Thai people. You want to get in a beef with another Farang, it's up to you. I mean, uh, the way it goes, I guess sometimes. Me, I'd rather not. I mean, like I said, if I get backed into a corner, I'll do whatever I got to do. But otherwise, these people, they're just giving a bad name to the people that are here. Having a good time in Thailand and enjoying Thailand. Hey, brother, how you doing, Ron? Glad you could make it. Yeah, sneak one in. Yeah, well. And did you see my thigh? I just showed it. You probably just missed it. I'll show it again. Just for my brother Ron. Let's see. Okay, look away if you don't want to see it. And here it goes. I'll let you know when you can look again. That's what the top of my thigh looks like right before I left, or right before I started. I had washed it with my hands in antibacterial soap. Do that twice a day, and my wife put the white areas that you see on there are open. They're sores, they're blisters, but that's from the cream. So I'll take it down so you can look back now. Um, but it definitely painful. Definitely, like I said, if you're, you know, I'm 67 years old. I need to slow down and think about shit when I'm doing it. What could happen here? And I need to start living my life that way, and I'll probably save myself a lot of pain if I just would, just slow down a bit. And that's what my wife's trying to get me to do and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. But am I going to stop riding bikes or that kind of? Nah, it ain't never going to happen. I mean, can't 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 stop that. It ain't going to happen. Never. I tried to explain that to her, but it's hard for her to understand. It's part of my life. Uh, I mean, if I might as well roll over if I can't hop on a bike. I mean, I'd be trying to figure out something if I need to cut off one of my feet or something. First thing that's going to come into my mind is how am I going to ride? What am I going to bolt on there? Am I going to get a peg? What am I going to do? It's just part of it. Am I going to get to an age that I can't do it anymore? I guess. I'm hoping not. I love to ride, man. It's just doesn't matter, what I ride. I just want two wheels. I want wind in my face. Was I a snobbish, only American bike, Harley Davidson Indian? Yeah, at one time, yeah. Um, what if there was no uh, monetary value difference between anything and they were all the same, I would definitely be on an HD. No doubt in my mind. Now, I'd like to have the newer style like mine with the rubber mounted and the 6-speed and all that. Yeah, that would be nice. Or would I like a suicide shift knucklehead? Yeah, that would be kind of cool too. Rigid, my body probably wouldn't like, but just to get out every once in a while and make take it down the street and blow it out, and take it down to the local place and have a hamburger or something. But I'd say for the most, the rubber mounted made a big a big difference. And we were riding. I'm putting 30,000, 35,000 miles on the FXRs back in the day, running around the country. So it that when the rubber mounted, I think they started in what 2001 or two or something like that, or maybe 1999 on the Dynas. Maybe I'm wrong. My mind's, but it made a big difference riding wise. You get on and ride the damn things for hours and hours. Not that most of the time. I mean, back in the day, I mean, if you were packed up and running somewhere and going around, a lot of the guy I was running 3.5s, on my panhead, not fives, but 3.5s. I had plenty of gas, but there was guys that I was riding with that had peanut tanks or Sportster tanks, sitting up like this, because they were like this, and with long springers and shit. So you only could use the back, gallon and a quarter of a tank, So they could only go 75, 80 miles. We were looking for a gas station to stop at, which was fine for me back in the day because I was a smoker, and it was harder back then to try to smoke and ride at the same time. You had to pay attention. Let's see. Have a friend that has a bionic leg that rides a big ass. Okay, really? Yeah, don't worry about your spelling. I was a solo nomad, maybe still kind of. I was always, most of the time when I was younger, there was a lot of clubs in the San Fernando Valley. Two of the biggest was the Satan Slaves and the Hells Angels. That was pretty much the two biggest back in late 60s through the 70s, 80s, and of course all the way up through now. Bunch of good people, man. I knew a lot of the Satan Slaves and really really enjoyed them. Is it for everybody? No, probably not. Uh, People that like to ride. Recently, I had somebody asking me about 1%ers, and you know, it's a whole lifestyle. I mean, if this person that I was talking to was in his 50s, retiring, and stuff like that, it's like, do you really want that kind of, at 30 years old? I mean, it was, or maybe even late 30s, but now if you want to ride, find a club that there's a lot of them out there that are Christian clubs or, just friends and stuff. They have a ball. They have runs. They do a lot of stuff together. It's about brotherhood with me. and it's about respect, and um, it just it doesn't have to be outlaw style. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, to tell you the truth, I kind of did back then. Would I want to do it now? Probably not. I think I'm too old. I think that's for the youngsters to run around and do now. uh, hey, Lewis, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Appreciate it. Hola. Let's see. Yeah, 75, 80 miles. They were done, Ron. You're absolutely right. Um, why isn't this showing? All right, there it is. Now it's showing. Okay, there we go. Well, that's still sons of arthritis. Yeah, I'd go for riding like that. Old bastards, or whatever. You know, it's just a weird deal too. I mean, there's a lot. If you're not familiar with that world or whatever. I mean, even if you're trying to just, you know, it's not as easy as just sticking something on your back and going out there. I mean, you're going to offend some people if you don't ask, or you don't make it aware. There's a lot of things to do, but if there's a lot of clubs out there that aren't 1% clubs that are fine, good times, um, that they're still into that motorcycle lifestyle, but just maybe not outlawish. Uh, but that was where a lot of the fun was when you were younger, right? Sons of Libertor. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I would, because a lot of them, I'm not going to go out and buy a Harley and to ride, to do that. I just won't do it. But like with the 750 and stuff like that, I think that bike maybe needs a little tweaking and stuff, but I think it's going to be a good bike. Yeah, Gypsy Jokers were around. Sure, sure. There was question marks were around the that area too. Um, it it was a interesting time to grow up during the late '60s and '70s in the San Fernando Valley. A lot of stuff like that's where the cruising came on Van Nuys Boulevard, and that's basically where everything that you've seen in American Graffiti was derived from. That's where we, on the nights that they were when they before they said you can't cruise anymore. That's where everybody was, on Van Nuys Boulevard. Um, it was a bunch of fun, man. Growing up there was a good time. The Mongols, yes, yeah, and the Outlaws, and a lot of that stuff. And it's a different deal in Canada and in Europe. I mean, you're talking about rocket launchers and shit. The worst around would maybe a grenade got thrown into a clubhouse here and there. But I don't know how you want to say it. It was a lot. Your life expectancy had shrunk if you were. I think it's probably a good way to put it. If you were in Canada in a club or in Europe. Yeah, it's. I never quite understood. I wasn't around it enough. I don't think to understand everything, but it was like if you're in that lifestyle and stuff like that. I mean, I guess everybody's got to pump their chests and do it. I guess that's part of some of it. But I never could understand why they couldn't all at least on a certain level get along. I mean, what killing each other? What good is that doing? Um, I don't know, but hopefully someday they'll all get along. I guess because I know that they got Hell's Angels. I know over in John Tiem, I think, right, and Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai. And I know that there's outlaws and other stuff. A lot of clubs that don't get along in other parts of the world that are here. But I haven't met any of them or done anything. All right, let's see. If I missed something, guys, sorry. Uh, yeah, exactly. Hey, Alex, I didn't see you. How you doing? Hope you're well. Did you like? Are you back? Did you like Kalei? I haven't got a chance to watch any of the videos. Have you seen my burns and my thigh? I've been kind of slowed down. If you're still here, you might already be gone. Uh, yeah, the big thing was the bottom rocker was probably the biggest problem that I know that the Hell's Angels had with other clubs running a bottom rocker. Said California that basically was your territory if you're running the. Well, how can 3, 4, 10 other clubs be running California if they're, you know, and all claiming the same territory. So I imagine some of it was territorial. I couldn't imagine. I'm sure there was a lot of talks. I'm sure there was a lot of people that were trying to keep everything down, to a low roar. But I mean, you had to like fighting and stuff to be to be around that environment. And again, it was back in the day. I mean, like I said, 9 times out of 10, if you got in a fight with somebody, you were drinking beer, and I'm just talking about just at a bar, not anything with motorcycles, but just with people. You got in a fist fight with somebody, and you picked them up and put them up on a bar stool and bought them a beer, and hell, by the end of the night, 9 times out of 10, you were friends. You know, why did you fight? Well, neither one of them you could figure out why. I don't know. Look, seemed like a good thing to do at the time. So you had to like it, I think. But I I I don't know. Those days, like I said, those days went out the windows when everybody started stabbing and shooting people. Then it wasn't that much fun anymore because it didn't matter. You could have you could be you know 75 pounds and 4 foot tall and get beat up or whatever and run to your car. And as soon as you got that 9 millimeter in your hand, you were 10 feet tall, kill 5 or 6 people and go to jail for the rest of your life. And everybody was happy except for the 5 people that were dead. So, back in the day, that stopped. I'm trying to think of what year it was when it really started getting out of control. When it had to be in the late 70s, I guess. It was probably when I got right at the end of my high school deals, which would have been 75, 74, or something like that. Um, even the parties that were high school parties were people were getting stabbed there and crap like that. So it was interesting times, but fun times for the most part. Uh, Cops were cops. They didn't they didn't get too out of hand. Maybe they needed to. I mean, like I said before, they cut me loose. God knows how many times when I know I shouldn't have been driving, and just by pouring out my beer and, like I said before, like they went to school. And how far you live from here? Oh, just a mile up the road. Okay, drive straight home. Okay, it's like they teach you to say this in the class somewhere or what. But probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world. I learned later that my luck would have been I would have got drunk, got into an accident, killed a 70-year-old grandma with her little family, a 2-year-old, and I would end up blowing my brains out. I don't think I could have handled doing that or knowing it, so I stopped. Stopped with the drinking and the driving and stuff. A lot of people didn't, but I did. All right, let's see. Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I watched The Sons of Anarchy a couple of times. Um, Binge watched it, and but I haven't watched that Mayan deal because I watched Breaking Bad too, but I haven't watched all the what is it? You got to call Sal or whatever it was, the attorney, and I heard it's really good, and I just haven't had a chance to do it. I'm watching this show now. I think it's on Netflix called Scorpion. It was out in like 2004. It's about real high IQ'd autistic type people that are solving problems and stuff for the Homeland Security. They got this anyway. It's pretty good so far. I think it's got 4 or 5 seasons, uh, so that looks pretty good. But I got to give that. What about something? Probably watch the Mayans too. I'll probably do that too. All right. No, I don't think so either. Ron. It's a deal. Is it? I gotta check it out, Alex. Yeah, I'll show you real quick because Alex is here. I'll show you my thigh. Everybody, look away real quick. This is what I poured a whole pot of boiling water down my hand and across my thigh. So look away now if you don't want to see it. That's what my thigh looks like right now. And I'm going away for Sokran to Koh Chang on Friday morning. But I went to the doctor yesterday and he said, just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, you can look again if you didn't want to see it. But it so that's going to put a damper. I can't go in the ocean, can't go in the pools. I can't do anything. But I really like Khao Yai. I hope you guys enjoyed it up there. I'll have to check out your videos, and I will. Got to call Sal or whatever it is. I've been because I really liked Breaking Bad. I thought that was probably one of the best series that was out there. Yeah, and I didn't see that. I haven't watched that one either. There's a lot of them. There's plenty of stuff to watch. When you're retired. The Americans was a good series around the same time as Breaking Bad and Spy. Yeah, and you know what else I really like? 24. And I did his air conditioning in his house when he was still doing 24. He bought he was really big into guitars, uh, electric and playing music. And it was in outside of L.A. Those old brick buildings with the domed roofs and the big giant doors. He bought one of those and made half of it. It's like what do we call it? I don't know, some kind of a regular commercial building, out there. And he built a kitchen and a big ass, bedroom, and the beds were just out in the middle. It was weird. And then the front part of it was a full blown state of the art recording studio. And you could drive in off the street and hit a button and a roll up door and go in, and and you're in the middle of a industrial area. It was weird, but he was a nice guy. I'm talking about Kiefer Sutherland. Um, he had closed it down, and we went in there, and I designed it. What I put in there, I put 320. I put 60 tons of air conditioning in this building, and he said, "I don't want heat," And when I designed it, I'm going, man, he's gonna he's gonna screw himself, right? Because the heat pumps, it's all electric, were damn near the same price as the cool. In other words, I could give him heat pumps, and it didn't affect my bottom line at all on the job. And I had big spiral drops with the round diffusers, and the diffusers were 3-4 feet across, and it went throughout this whole building in the back. The front was all above the ceiling and stuff for the recording deal. But I met him when he went on hiatus right after it, and said, "Oh, it looks good. Thank you." Really a nice guy. And then, like in the beginning of winter, okay, uh, he still hadn't realized that he had heat, and it was on automatic when I set it up, right? And he made a point of calling me and saying thank you very much for putting that in, even though I didn't want it. He goes, "I would have been freezing my ass off." I said, "Yeah, you would have." Yeah, one of my favorites too. I like it too. I'm still waiting for the last 5 episodes. Haven't seen that yet. No salt water. Yeah, I'm sure that would be. I thought it would be good, but my wife's saying there's still bacteria, and I don't know. I'm not going to take any chances because my wife knows way more than I do. She's a lot smarter than me. Um, yeah, there's so many different shows, old ones that I know before this one passed away, we were before she even went into the hospital. We were sitting at home and just kind of collecting our thoughts, and we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't really talk about it that much, but we sat down and we binge watched Roseanne, and I never laughed so freaking hard. Me and her, no one else around, just binge watching that Roseanne for however long it was, 3 days or whatever. Just laughed our asses off. So there's a lot of shows out there that are worth watching again. A lot of them I haven't seen that are just excellent. I think it was my cousin and might have been Mitch or something too that turned me on to Yellowstone, which turned me on to what 1925 or whatever it is, and the other one. And what was the one that was on HBO that was a good one too? Western, um, where they fed the bodies to the pigs. Anybody remember the name of that one? Yeah, well, like when I first went to the little place in where it happened, it was like 10 minutes down the road. Their little local government hospital deal. They said they gave me some of the cream, and then they said just go get saline down the street. There was a whatever hospital supply or whatever something had the saline. We never made it down there to get that. And then when we got back that same day, I went to the private hospital here in Surin, and he just said, "No, just shower twice a day, and that should be good." Yeah, Deadwood. Ron's got it under control. I'm horrible with names and shit, but I know I really like that, and I'm really looking forward to. I couldn't stop watching Yellowstone. It was the same thing when I got turned on to. Had to be 2000. It was right before my cousin passed away with the Lou Gehrig's. Um, I was binge watching it while I was watching him, helping him out, and somebody had told me about it, and I had to chase all over the internet. It wasn't They didn't have all of them like they do on Netflix now. They had partial, and then I had to search around the internet to watch this one and watch that one, and subscribe to some stuff to for 7 days and then take it off. And but I just I was mesmerized by I couldn't stop watching that. I haven't watched that. Is that one good too? I haven't watched that. That was on HBO too, right? I think around the same time as Deadwood. Um, take so yeah, the train station. Yeah, it was almost like when I was watching that, it was like looks like a mob film. But I enjoyed it. I thought he was excellent. I thought all the actors and actresses in it did a fantastic job. What do we got? An hour and 38 minutes. I think I haven't watched that either. There's a lot of them I haven't watched. So I got plenty of time when they cut my feet off and I can't ride motorcycles and can't do anything anymore except lay around and watch Netflix. I got plenty of stuff to watch, and I'm subscribed to way too many places. I don't even know. I probably spend $300 a month on Hula and Paramount Plus and all the ones that I get. It's out of control. All right. 15 of you still left out there, you diehards. I think I'm going to end the stream. Thanks everybody for coming by. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to take my laptop with me. I probably won't do. They're probably going to be. There's probably going to be no rhyme to reason on doing live streams. I might do them every day. I don't know. If I'm bored, I might just and I can't go in the pool and I can't go in the ocean. And I don't want to sit out in the 40-degree heat. I might just do a live stream from inside the room or something. But I'll keep you updated on how I'm doing because I know some people care. Reacher, I thought it was awesome. I'm waiting for number 3. Right, there's been 2. Freaking awesome. Uh, Thanks, Ralph. Everybody, have a great day, or have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're at. I will let everybody know if you can't. I don't know if you don't know. Richard from Richard Travels did my intro and my outro on my live streams for me. Hope everything's going well with you, Richard. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And I'll look at the camera, say I will catch you on the next one.